Hello guys, si Kesan Veloso ulit ito at welcome sa episode 5 ng laro tayo ng The Blackwell Convergence. So, ulit natin tong adventure natin kasama sina Joey tsaka si Rosa. Last episode guys, pasaway si Countess, pinatay si Claude. So ngayon, talagang kailangan hanapin na natin siya. Kailangan i-dispatch na rin natin si Countess. So
You ready to go?
Yeah, let's blow this popsicle stand.
Andito kaya si Nishanti?
Nishanti isn't home.
Wala. Halos mag-isang linggo na siya di umuwi, pasaway. Saan tayo pupunta ngayon? Dito na lang eh.
Go right in.
Tanungin nga natin ulit natin ito, kasabi natin.
Hi, Paul.
Hi again. What can we do you for?
Ano po? Wala.
Anything else you can tell me about the Foundation?
I've given you the basic idea. There's nothing else really to tell you.
Okay, so wala na.
Well, thanks for talking to me. I might be back later.
Sure thing. Drop on by anytime. Did you see that look she gave you?
Paul.
I'm just looking out for you, little brother.
Well, don't.
Wala na. Okay, so subukan natin dito sa Mineta. Tanongin natin siya, kausapin natin kung may tayo pwedeng gawin.
Hi there. Got time for some more questions?
Sure, ask away.
Can you tell me anything about the Meltzer Foundation?
No, sorry.
Okay, so wala na. So wala na tayong choice. Babalik talaga tayo sa Malamang wala na rin point dito eh. So dito na talaga tayo sa Roosevelt Island. O yun, di na umuulan. May tao dito. So kasapin, tingin natin.
He's drinking from a coffee mug. It's got something written on it, but I can't see it from here.
Sige, si Joey naman.
An old guy drinking from a coffee mug. Not even a twitch. The mug has a company logo on it. It says Gold Tech? No idea what that is.
Baga na. Notes. This was written on a mug held by a man at the Roosevelt Island Lighthouse. Not much of a lead, but I'll take what I can get. Pasaway, nabubulol na naman ako na pen. Kausapin nga natin.
Hi.
Try to make small talk. May nabubulol talaga ako.
Rotten day to be out, huh?
I've seen worse.
Could I ask you a couple of questions?
And who are you, may I ask?
Rosangela Blackwell. Nice to meet you.
Why do you want to talk to me?
I'm curious about the lighthouse.
What makes you think I know anything?
Nakatambay ka kasi dyan eh. Okay. Anything unusual?
I'm wondering if anything unusual happened here.
Unusual like what?
Just anything unusual.
I've got nothing to say to you.
What brings you out here?
None of your business.
Okay ka.
Pretty cool lighthouse, huh?
If you say so.
Okay. Open notebook.
Could I ask you a couple of questions?
And who are you, may I ask?
Rosangela Blackwell. Nice to meet you.
Why do you want to talk to me?
Okay. Wala.
Well, see you around.
Uh-huh.
Uwi na muna tayo. May nakuha naman tayong lead eh. Tingnan natin kung ano yung gold tech. Hindi kong gano'n nagsabihin itong si Rosa, yung internet niya wired. Hindi siya naka-wifi. John Goldwater, deceased. The body of a man named John Goldwater was found by the Roosevelt Island lighthouse. His father is reported to spend a lot of time at the scene. Yun, okay. City Archives. Murderer still at large. The search continues for the murderer of John Goldwater, whose body was found by the Roosevelt Island lighthouse early last week. John Goldwater was the chief researcher at Goldtech, a local medical research facility. John leaves behind his father, Morty Goldwater, who often keeps vigil at the scene of the crime. So, ang pangalan niya is Virgil. Ay, hindi. Morty. Search nga natin. Sige, malay mo may information din. Wala. Oh, never mind. At least alam na natin pangalan ng anak niya. So, tapos na rin yung anak niya. So, sinakal din. So, mamaya si na naman yun, ha?
Come on, let's get going.
Mamaya si Countess na naman yun,
sure.
ha? Pareho ng Modus Operandi, eh. So, check natin. Balik tayo sa lighthouse ulit. Dito pa rin siya.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Goldwater pala. Pero ba't yan Marty?
Are you Marty Goldwater?
Yeah, who are you?
Rosangela Blackwell.
What do you want?
Your son. I heard what happened.
You knew my boy?
No, but I'm looking into it.
You with the police?
No, but I'm sort of freelance.
You can't do any worse than those worthless cops have. So sure, be whatever you want.
Okay. Anything unusual?
I'm wondering if anything unusual happened here.
Unusual like what?
Just anything unusual.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Okay.
I'm curious about the lighthouse.
What makes you think I know anything?
Tsaka nakatambay lagi.
How exactly was he killed? The newspaper didn't say.
His neck was crushed. They said he was choked, but there were no bruises on his neck.
I never heard of anything like it.
Crushed.
Yeah,
Do you have any theories of your own?
of course I do. It was his rival company that did it. Lazarus Technology. They did it, but I can't prove it.
Okay, Lazarus Technology. Martin Goldwater told us that a rival company might have had Martin killed. Pero hindi eh. Tansya ko talaga si yun eh. Si Countess na naman
Anything
eh.
else you can tell me about John?
He was my son. He had his head in the clouds, but his feet were firmly planted on the ground. He wanted to change the world, and by God, he would have done it. Well, I'll be joining him soon, I'm sure.
Okay, wala naman. Lazarus Technology.
Why do you think this other company is involved?
Look, my boy was a genius. He ran a medical technology firm not far from here as one of their chief researchers. He was making a device that can improve the efficiency of pacemakers. A real breakthrough, he said. But this other firm, Lazarus, was working on the same thing. It was a real race to see who'd finish it first. He didn't eat, he hardly slept, he poured his life into his work. Then one night he called me to say he had finished. He wanted to celebrate. That was the last time I talked to him.
He was killed that night?
Yes, and a few days later the device was registered by Lazarus. No justice, none at all.
Wala nang tayo pwede sabihin dito eh. Mineta.
Have you ever been to a bar downtown called the Minetta?
The Minetta? Is that place still around? Oh, I haven't been there for years.
So you know it.
I used to go there years ago.
Di alam mo yung kay alam mo yung Joe Gould fan.
Have you ever heard of a man named Joe Gould?
You mean Professor Seagull?
You've heard of him.
Sure I did. Back in the day, you'd always see him wandering the West Village. Must have been, 50 years ago. I was a young man then. He called himself Professor Seagull. If you gave him $1, he'd recite poetry in seagull language.
For real?
Who knows? It was a laugh. New York was full of people like that in those days. Times sure have changed.
Joseph Mitchell.
Have you ever heard of Joseph Mitchell?
Didn't he used to write for the New Yorker?
Yes.
I think I've read some of his work, but it's so long ago I can't remember.
Okay. Meltzer Foundation, may alam ka?
Have you ever heard of the Meltzer Foundation?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so... malamang wala yan eh. So, yung Lazarus technology lang talaga.
Well, see you around.
Uh-huh.
May bagong area ba? Wala. Research natin kung ano yung Lazarus technology. Search natin sa net.
Here we go.
Oh, meron.
Lazarus Technology.
Lazarus Technology. Lazarus was established to review and research various health issues, conditions, and diseases, and use technology to address them. For more information, contact us at 1-800-555-4554. 1-800-555-4554. Telephone natin yan. Katabi lang pala.
Thank you for calling Lazarus Technologies. Please choose from the following options. For general information about Lazarus Technologies, press 1. To inquire about our products, press 2. To speak to an operator, press 3.
Information muna.
Lazarus Technologies is the world's leader in biomedical and biomechanical engineering. We supply research and development to hospitals and clinics throughout the world. Lazarus Technologies is supported by a generous grant from the Meltzer Foundation.
Ayun no, Meltzer din. So connected din to. So tatlong cases na yan. So products.
If you would like to request a product catalog, please speak to a customer representative.
Number 3.
You have reached the general office mailbox. Please leave a message and someone will get back to you shortly.
Okay, so balik tayo sa Meltzer Foundation.
You coming?
Yeah, sure.
Akala ko wala rito sa... So, tatlong companies na yung connected dito.
Go right in.
Hi, Paul.
Hi again. What can we do you for?
I heard that your foundation gave money to Lazarus Technologies.
Oh, yes. That was one of our first success stories.
Okay. John Goldwater.
Have you ever heard of a guy named John Goldwater?
No, sorry.
I heard that your foundation gave money to Lazarus Technologies.
Oh, yes. That was one of our first success stories.
Yun lang. Wala na. Okay, Lazarus Technology success.
I learned something interesting about Lazarus Technologies. It rose to success on the shoulders of a murdered man.
That's a strong thing to say.
It's true. His company was an inch away from beating Lazarus, but then he was killed.
Even if this is true.
It is true. You can look it up.
Even still, I don't see how this is our fault.
Let me break it down for you, Paul. Frank Lyons dies, and CubeStar Films becomes successful overnight. Claude Erdin commits suicide, and now the Park Gallery is selling priceless works of art. John Goldwater dies, and Lazarus Technologies becomes rich and powerful. All these companies are represented by you. Don't you see how this looks?
This is a total coincidence. I'm sure of it.
Is it?
It is. And I'll tell you another thing. I don't like these accusations. I think you should leave.
I am going to get to the bottom of this.
Maybe you will, but it has nothing to do with us. Now go, before I call the police.
Come on, let's blow and let him stew for a while.
Yeesh.
She's crazy.
Crazy with teeth. You gotta watch out for women like that, Scooter.
Scooter, you haven't called me that since we were kids.
Ayun.
Really? Maybe I should start calling you that again.
Whatever.
At least alam na natin yung password niya.
Charles doesn't get a lot of emails, it seems. There's just a bunch of names in his inbox. Frank Lyons, John Goldwater, Claude Erdin.
Sabi na eh.
Joey, look at this. It's like a hit list of everyone who was killed by the Countess.
So Charlie was writing about each of the victims. I knew there was something fishy about that place. Come on, let's go back there and talk to him.
What on earth do we say?
Think of something, kid. History is repeating itself, and I don't... What was that?
It looks like his inbox is being updated.
May message. Los Angeles Blackwell, patay. Pasaway.
My name. That's my name.
That son of a... Mess with us, Willie.
He just marked me. I'm next.
Look, don't worry. She might not come right away. We have time to plan.
Ayan na.
You killed Claude. And the others.
I did not kill. I healed them.
Cannon,
Good job.
we've heard this song before. Just back away, real slow-like.
I only want to help.
I think we've had about enough of your help, lady. Back off, kid. I'm ready this time.
I have to help her. Just let me help her.
Oh, yeah? Help yourself to this.
Pwede mo natin kontra si Joey.
I'm doing all I can.
What do you want me to do? Scare it?
I'm doing all I can. I'm doing all I can.
So si Rosa, kailangan natin dito. Anong gagawin ko dito?
Get away from him.
Kid, she's here to kill you. I can handle her. Just make yourself scarce.
It's too early to sleep.
Crash room.
Where is she? She isn't far. I can sense her.
You think I'm telling you?
Where?
Well, I know for sure she's not through that door behind you.
I have no idea who lives there. Nishanti isn't home. No place to go. I can't run away unless Joey comes with me, and Joey's the only thing holding her back. Come on, Rosa. Auntie did it 30 years ago, so can you.
I'm picture.
I wish you were here, Auntie. I really do.
That's far enough, sister.
Joey, leave it.
Leave it like hell.
Auntie's picture fell off the wall. I'll hang it back later, assuming there is a later. Hey, look at this.
Who? That's... I wanted to help her.
And look where it got you. You think anyone appreciates your help?
No. No!
How did we end up here?
I have brought you here. You are safe now. I have saved you.
Saved me? What do you mean, saved me? What did you do? Joey, did she kill me? Am I dead?
I don't know. Lady, I suggest you start talking.
There is nothing to say. You are safe now, both of you.
My dear, you carry on so.
You. It's you. I've been looking for you for so long. Why did you leave me?
My poor host, you cast me out. You broke our bond. It's too late to repair it.
What? No, why would I do that?
Your mind is so broken that you do not remember. My, you are a mess. You don't even know your own name, Countess, indeed. Regardless, it is time for this to end.
End? Is there an end?
For you, there can be, if you let me.
I trust you, Madeline. I always will trust you.
Rosangela Blackwell, Joseph Malone, it is a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm sorry it had to be under such unpleasant circumstances.
Unpleasant is right. Who are you?
My name is Madeline, and a long time ago, I was this poor soul's spirit guide. She corrupted our bond, and I'm afraid the damage to both of us was quite severe. Can you help us? Can you help us end this cycle of death?
Paano? She looks familiar. Who are you?
Who are you?
As I said, my name is Madeline, and a long time ago, I was a spirit guide to the woman you know as the Countess. We were bonded, much like you and your guide are, but much has changed, and time is short. Will you help us?
Oo nga, pamilya siya pero wag na lang natin tanong.
Yes, I'll help you. I don't have much choice. She's killed me.
Killed you? No! She left you quite unharmed. But regardless, there is no time to waste. Come with me. Now just relax.
Hey, what's the big idea? All right, you. Talk. Where are they?
The pattern. They're going to fix the pattern.
Talk sense, will ya?
The source. Cut off the source and the pattern will revert.
Why do I bother? Great. Trapped on another plane of existence with the Countess of Crazyville. They better know what they're doing.
Hey, what happened? How did you do that?
This is where the link originates.
Link?
The bond between your Countess and her hosts. Part of her is trapped here. You must remove it.
Eh, paano? So, saan ako pupunta dito? Sa loob?
She's so strange and beautiful. Madeline, could I talk to you?
Of course.
Where are we?
Where are we?
You have been to this plane before. You have brought many lost spirits through here.
Well, yes, but there was never a diner before.
I can understand your confusion, but it is not a real diner. It is metaphorical. As you know, there is a bond between the Countess and her current host, and the bond is represented by this diner. You will find out more inside.
Okay. Breaking the bond.
This bond, how do I break it?
Part of the Countess is trapped inside. You must find it and remove it.
Okay.
Thanks, Madeline. I'm going to see what I can do.
Wag na natin
I will
tanongin
be
iba.
waiting right here.
Wag na natin tanongin ibang information. Medyo personal na yun eh.
For the upteenth time, I have no money for your fund.
Show some pity. At least lend us a cigarette.
Ahem. I believe we got company.
Ah. Miss, could you perhaps spare a few dollars for the Joe Gould Fund?
Pasaway. Ito pala si Joe Gould. Ay, si Joe Gould. Ito. Si Joseph Mitchell, yung nakausap ni Lauren.
He's on the elderly side, but his eyes look sharp and alert. That's Joe Gould. I recognize him from the portrait in the Minetta.
Windows.
I'm a long way from home. I don't think those open.
Kausapin mo natin si Joe Gould muna.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Joseph Ferdinand Gould. I am graduate of Harvard magna cum difficultate and chairman of the board of Wheel and Woe Incorporated. In exchange for a drink, I'll recite a poem, deliver a lecture, argue a point, or take off my shoes and imitate a seagull. I prefer gin, but beer will do.
I've been hearing a lot about you lately.
My reputation precedes me.
Minetta portrait. The Countess Mitchell live.
I saw your portrait in the Minetta.
The Minetta. Yes. I'm quite famous there, you know.
I gathered.
It's all thanks to Mitchell, of course. The Joe Gould Fund filled its coffers nicely when he wrote his article.
Mitchell.
What's your connection to Joseph Mitchell?
Ah, Mitchell. My benefactor. He made me quite famous, you know. But my goodwill only extends so far.
Why's that?
A cigarette. He has them. He won't give me one. It's demeaning to have to beg for one measly cigarette.
Secret.
You want a cigarette?
Yes, I want a cigarette. It's a disgrace that I should have to beg for one.
What are you doing here?
I don't quite know myself. We've all got to be someplace. As I understand it, I was mentally linked to my old friend, the Countess. I wish I'd known. It explains everything that my work was trying to prove.
Ganon?
Your work?
I have had many callings. I studied the seagulls of the world and learned their language. I spent months measuring the heads of 1,000 Chippewa Indians. But before I died, I was putting to paper the most important literary work known to man, the oral history of our time. It was a compilation of the conversations of the city, overheard in bars, subways, street corners, and diners. Put together and studied properly, it would have revolutionized everything.
Revolutionized everything?
How would it have revolutionized everything?
We were all connected, every single one of us. But how? Think of the ramifications if we found out.
It sounds like quite an undertaking.
It was my life's work.
I'd like to read the oral history.
And I'd like you to, but I'm afraid it belongs to the ages now.
There was also the problem of it never existing in the first place.
Of course it existed, only not on paper. It was over 3 million words, 3 times the size of the Holy Bible. The work transcended mere parchment and ink.
What about those essays you published in the Dial?
A passing fancy, nothing more.
You wrote essays?
For the now-defunct Dial magazine. I still have the originals. Do you want to see?
Sige. Essays.
I'd like to see that essay.
Here you go.
It appears to be an essay about insanity, but the handwriting is so awful I can barely make it out. Just as well. I don't have time to read all this stuff.
Ano yan? By Joseph Ferdinand Gould. Ang hirap mong basahin. Insanity is a topic of peculiar interest to me. Despite my theory that people with strong willpower and di ko mabasa, wag na lang.
This handwriting makes my eyes water, but I think it's an essay about insanity. I don't think it's important. This handwriting makes my eyes water. I don't think it's important.
Merong
This
tubig.
handwriting makes... I don't...
May mark dito ng beer ba yun siguro?
Here you go.
Always glad to share.
He's on the elderly side, but his eyes look sharp and alert. Hello, you're Joseph Mitchell, aren't you?
I believe you have the better of me, Miss...
Blackwell. Rosangela Blackwell.
Blackwell, huh? I might have known.
Auntie Lauren.
You met my auntie.
Your auntie, yes. I do see a slight resemblance. I did warn her to leave well enough alone, but she was determined. Let's hope that you can do some good here.
What are
you
here?
doing here?
We are echoes, leftovers, if you will. We were linked to the Countess when we were alive. When we died, part of ourselves got trapped here.
So you're not a ghost?
Not fully. I'm not sure what I am. I remember living, I remember dying, but I don't feel like Joseph Mitchell. All I know is that when I thought of death, an eternity with Joe Gould was the last thing on my mind.
So ano kayo, concepts? Okay, his work.
I studied some of your work in journalism school.
Now that's just foolish. I was a relic even before I died. The city I wrote about has long since evolved and changed into something completely different. But that's New York City, isn't it? Wouldn't be New York if it stayed the same year to year.
Okay. Writing niya.
I'm sorry you had to stop writing.
So am I. But what else could I do? Let innocent people die? No, I don't regret the choice I made. Not for one moment.
Did you know Charles Meltzer?
Yes, I did. He worked at the New Yorker back in the late 70s. He would come into my office and ask about the old days, and I was happy to tell him. I knew he would never cut it as a reporter, but he had a very keen, analytical mind. I almost forgot all about him, but it appeared a link formed between us, nonetheless. When I died, my connection to the Countess passed on to him.
Ganun, kaya pala.
Charles Meltzer is using the Countess to kill people.
By accident?
No, on purpose. He sent her after me.
Now, that's a shame. I'm aware that through my actions I killed a few people, but I could forgive myself for it, since I was unaware of what I was doing. But many times I thought to myself, I have a weapon, it's untraceable, nobody knows about it. I could use it, but I did not. I was tempted, but I did not. Not once. You have to stop Charles. Break this link, destroy this place. No more innocents should have to die.
Okay.
What is your connection to the Countess?
I don't know. I never met the woman. Joe Gould was the one who knew her. He had a special bond with her, apparently. But somehow, he passed it on to me when he died. Next thing I knew, I was murdering people by writing about them. There was no choice. I had to stop writing.
I studied some of your work in journalism school.
Now that's just... I was the city... But that's new...
By breaking the link. And the cigarette
Why don't
muna.
you give him a cigarette?
When you give that man a cigarette or a drink, he likes to talk. And the only subject Joe Gould likes to talk about, at length, is Joe Gould. And the only person for him to talk to is me. So, I do not give him a cigarette.
You can speak to Joe.
Would you give him a cigarette if I spoke to him for you?
I might. If you can get him away from me, I might. But we can't leave this diner, and the door to that kitchen is locked.
Can't you just float through the wall?
Believe me, I've tried that. It doesn't work. Not here.
By breaking the link.
How do I break this link?
I wish I knew. I'm afraid all this is a bit beyond me.
Thanks for talking, Mr. Mitchell. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Miss Blackwell.
Looks like the door to the kitchen. Locked.
Ay, wala na tayong lockpick.
Mr. Gould?
She returns. Say, can you spare a few dollars for the Joe Gould Fund?
I'm afraid I'm a little short.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Ito na natin connection sa Countess.
How did you know the Countess?
We met in a diner like this one. We'd often spend a week or two walking along the docks to discuss seagulls. She had many interesting theories on seagull linguistics. Then, one day, she disappeared, but a link had already formed between us. It's everything my oral history was trying to prove, that we're all linked.
You want a cigarette?
Yes, I want a cigarette. It's a disgrace that I should have to...
Okay, murders.
The Countess is killing people.
Murder? No. No, I refuse to believe that. She couldn't hurt a fly.
Okay, ano yung pangalan niya?
Why is she called the Countess?
That's what she chooses to call herself. Far be it for me to tell her otherwise.
The name doesn't seem strange to you?
When you lived a life like mine, you take people at face value. Who cares about names? I once knew another fellow without a name, called himself the Deacon.
Hello? Deacon?
The Deacon? You knew the Deacon?
Oh yes, he was this gloomy career drunk. One summer night while sitting in a doorway of the Bowery, he caught the scent of sulfur. He looked up and saw the devil himself standing over him. Since that night he believed he lost his soul. Not the most charitable drinking companion, if I may say so.
No, he wouldn't be.
You knew him?
Sort of.
Fancy that.
Yung sa first game.
I'll talk to you later.
Sure. Things to do, people to see, I understand.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Thanks for talking, Mr. Mitchell. I'll see what I can do.
Okay,
Thank you, Miss Blackwell.
Kailangan mabuksan yung pinto eh.
Madeline, could I talk to you?
Of course.
Breaking the...
Who are the ghosts inside?
Their names are Joseph Mitchell and Joe Gould. Both of them were unwilling spirit guides for the Countess. The echoes of them remained here after they died.
How did the Countess get so...
insane?
Yes.
Like you, her mind is a door to another plane of existence. By corrupting our bond, she opened that door so wide that it flooded her mind with unfathomable knowledge. She essentially has the universe inside her head, and no human mind can contain that. It broke her. She sees everything but understands nothing. If she didn't banish me to this place between worlds, I might feel more pity.
So yun, ano din pala siya, medium talaga siya kaya lang napraning. Ano yung pangalan ni Countess?
Did you know her when she was alive?
Of course. We spent almost 30 years together.
What was she like?
Different. Happier. She loved helping those in need. But it no longer matters. She is the one who needs help now.
Invite her inside.
Can't you come inside with me?
I'm afraid I cannot. My bond with the Countess is gone. I cannot enter.
But I can?
You are alive. You are much stronger than I am.
Okay.
Can you take me back?
Most certainly. But you must finish what you came here to do first.
Figures.
Paano na-break yung bond?
How did the Countess break the bond between you?
She did not break the bond, but moved it. To be rid of me, she had to form a bond with someone living. Someone who could, in essence, become her guide. How she acquired this knowledge, I do not know. I only know that it was accomplished.
Who did she pass it to?
Joe Gould. It was an easy task, since his mind was already broken. Upon Gould's death, it was passed on to Joseph Mitchell.
And now Charlie Meltzer.
Yes, it must be broken if this is to end.
Ang tanong paano?
This bond, how do I break it?
Part of the Countess is trapped inside. You must find it and remove it.
Alin dun? Why a diner?
Why is it represented by a diner?
The Countess used to spend lots of time in diners like these. You will find out more inside.
Thanks, Madeline. I'm going to see what I can do.
I will be waiting right here.
Check natin yung clock.
What would I do with a handless ghost clock? There are no hands on that clock. I guess that's supposed to be symbolic.
Wala akong gagawin dito. Feeling ko yung ano eh. Feeling ko yung essay eh.
Mr. Gould?
She returns. Say, can you spare a few... Fair enough.
You want a cigarette?
Yes,
I'd like to see that.
Here you go.
This handwriting makes my eyes water, but I think it's an essay about insanity. I don't think it's important. This handwriting, I don't think it's important. This handwriting I don't think it's important.
Yun paperclip.
These papers are held together by a paperclip. I don't think he'll miss this.
Ayun, okay. Alam ko na gagawin natin dito.
Here you go.
Always glad to share.
Alam na natin gagawin dyan.
Easy. What's that noise?
Center oven. Ano yun?
That's weird. There's a strange glow coming from inside. There's a strange glow coming from inside. There's nothing in here. There's nothing in here. There's a strange glow coming from inside. Hello? Is someone in there?
She comes, she comes.
Okay, ano ba yan? Yung sa mga ibang movies yung kanyang plot device. Who are you? Are you the Countess?
Are you the Countess?
Countess, one of our names. Yes. I no longer live, but part of me remains. Leave me.
I need to take you out of here. And then take the light na
My
kagad.
hand goes right through it.
No, too cold. I will survive here and save fire. Leave me.
I need to take you out of here.
I need to take you out of here.
No, safe here. Warm here. I stay in warm places. Too cold out there.
Well, see ya. I'm talking to an oven.
Timer na.
A sound idea. I'm sure it made more sense than most people I know. So this is the kitchen. Such a bare and emotionless place. Not even a bottle of ketchup.
End na muna natin, guys. Nag-timer na eh. So, malamang patapos na tong game. Kailangan lang natin to ayusin. So, next episode, guys. So, save ko muna. Isa pa. Kaya Sean Velasco signing off, guys. Next episode na lang ulit.